What's good, y'all? It's BRF Sports bringing in real flood sports talk game. We back with another video, and I'm bringing it back for the second go round. These are going to be my National League 2026 MLB divisional previews. Here, I'm going to give you X factors, and I'm going to give you team predictions as far as who I feel are going to go from worst to actually winning these divisions. We're going to go West, Central, East like I did with the American League, and this video is right here. It's going to be the National League West. So let's talk about it. My fifth place team in the National League West is clearly going to be the Colorado Rockies. They are definitely the worst team in this division, albeit they do have a good young assortment of talent in this division, from a Hunter Goodman to an Ezekiel Tovar, Mickey Moniak, and a Brenton Doyle, who's arguably the best of the four. I just don't trust his pitching staff. Kyle Freeland comes in as your de facto number one, but he's been a shell of himself since 2018, where he finished fourth in the Cy Young voting in the National League with a 17-7 record and a 2.85 ERA. Injuries and inconsistencies have contributed to his downfall over these last few years. Chase Dollander comes in, still getting acclimated with the major league, with the major league speed and the major league style of play. He has an upside arm, but he's struggling, and you're looking at him to possibly bounce back in 2026 to give the Colorado Rockies some hope going into the future. Edward Julian and Jake McCarthy does come in, gives you a couple of infield and outfield kind of depth baps. But in all, I see this team not competing. I see this team finishing with high 90s losses, possibly 100. And if anything, they may trade a couple of the high-quality young pieces who I named earlier in this segment to really kind of bring draft capital back and maybe retool to try to build some hope in the future with the Colorado Rockies. I see this team finishing fifth. 2 through 4 is definitely going to be one of the most highly contested, parts about this division. Probably in the entire National League, when you have teams that are like evenly matched, like the Giants, Padres, and Diamondbacks, you have to kind of find in which ways these teams are going to set themselves apart. Unfortunately for the San Francisco Giants, I have them finishing fourth because I feel like I think they have the worst offense of the three. Now, I will say this, though. It's kind of, you have Rafael Devers, you have Willie Adames, you have Matt Chapman, three vets who can hit for power. And then you have guys like Helio Ramos and Patrick Bailey, who are young guys coming up. Patrick Bailey might be the best defensive catcher in the National League. And then you have this rookie standout who's going to be one of my choice, should be one of the favorites for NL Rookie of the Year, and Bryce Eldridge, who gives you a really big power bat from the first base position. The Giants are always going to have pitching, never fails. They're always going to be pitching. They're always going to have really good pitching, especially in that ballpark that they play in. Guys like Logan Webb and Robbie Ray and Landon Roop, who had a solid 2025, who right now is penciled in as the 5, but he might be the third best starter on this rotation. Pitching bullpen should be decent with guys like Ryan Walker and Jason Foley coming in to add to this bullpen. And yesterday they just signed a guy like Luis Reyes, who's not necessarily the power back, but he's high contact, high on base percentage, takes a lot of walks, will get on base, should slide in as the leadoff guy to be able to help 2 through 5 as far as being able to drive in more runs. So I have the San Francisco Giants 49ers. I have the San Francisco Giants finishing fourth in this division. I give them a 90 win ceiling, but I see around like 82, 83 wins for this team as we go into third place, which is really going to be tough because Padres and Diamondbacks it's a hard decision to make. But with that being said, I have the San Diego Padres finishing third in this division. They are in my opinion, they're the most enigmatic team arguably in the National League because of the talent that this team possesses. They could finish in the 80s. They could contend and win up close to 100 games. They have that type of talent. When you have a guy like Fernando Tatis Jr., when you have a guy like Manny Machado, when you have a shortstop the caliber of Xander Bogaerts, a guy on the come up, one of the rising young stars in baseball in Jackson Merrill. And the pitching staff is nothing to sneeze at as well. Nick Pivetta finally had his breakout year in 2025, went 13-3 with a 2.87 ERA, a .99 walks, hits, innings pitched, and 190 strikeouts and 181 2/3 innings. That's ace-like stuff. And then a guy like Michael King, who kind of had a down 2025, but I mean, when you look at 5-3 with a 3.44 ERA and 76 strikeouts and 73 and third inning, all he's got to do is stay healthy, and this team can really make noise in the National League, in the National League West. I think for me the biggest X factor with the Padres, I mean, it's clearly going to be Mason Miller, because they are converting him over to a full-time starter. I don't know how that's going to work out, but with all that being said, he's been one of the best closers in the game for years, and just seeing how this is going to unfold, I mean, there's a lot there, but all in all, I do think the San Diego Padres are definitely finishing third in the National League West. The Arizona Diamondbacks might be one of my favorite teams coming into 2026. I love the shocking trade acquisition, them being able to get Nolan Arenado. I love them signing Corbin Burns, who's when he's on this game, he's got top 5 pitcher in the league type of pitching repertoire. He's that good. And I just love what they bring to the table altogether. That's why I have them finishing second. Guys like Ketel Marte, being able to keep him, Corbin Carroll, Geraldo Perdomo, Gabe Marino, Pavin Smith, just guy all around really good hitters. And then a guy who I want to see take a next step, their young outfitter, Alec Thomas. I would love to see him take the next step. And not only with Corbin Burns, you have guys like Merrill Kelly, who's been one of the more consistent pitchers in the league the last few years, and a guy like Brandon Pfaadt. He might not give you the best in terms of ERA, but with Brandon Pfaadt, his value to the Arizona Diamondbacks being able to make starts and eat innings. So that's definitely, let me tell you something, when you have a bullpen, like when you have a young bullpen like the Arizona Diamondbacks do, with a guy like Justin Martinez, who's their closer of the future, you need a guy like Brandon Pfaadt, who's going to come in, be able to eat innings, take pressure off that bullpen. That way they're not having to come in 56 innings and just, put more work on them. And also you have guys like AJ Puk and Ryan Thompson, veteran guys who can come in, eat a 6th, eat a 7th inning, and be able to take pressure off the setup and close a guy. So I have the Arizona Diamondbacks finishing second. They're one of the more up-and-coming, exciting teams in all of Major League Baseball. How do you beat the Los Angeles Dodgers? Just how do you overtake the Los Angeles Dodgers and the way they've constructed this roster? The 1 through 4 might be the greatest we've ever seen in the history of the league. I'm talking Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and then you sign Kyle Tucker. Like, how do you combat that? Not to mention they still have Will Smith, they still have Max Muncy, they still have Teoscar Hernandez, they still have Tommy Edman. How are you going to be able to combat a 1 through 9 like the LA Dodgers are going to be able to bring to the table? Not to mention the rotation. The rotation is loaded. Yoshinobu Yamamoto clearly established himself as one of the elite pitchers in the game. Had one of the greatest playoff runs we've ever seen from a starting pitcher. Shohei Ohtani's going to start. He's going to pitch this year. That should tell you all you need to know as far as the depth of this rotation. Not to mention Tyler Glasnow, who stayed healthy, had a fantastic 2025. Blake Snell, we know what he's capable of. And then you have Roki Sasaki and Emmett Sheehan competing for the 5th spot. And they have depth. I mean, this Dodgers team is scary. Edwin Diaz, Tanner Scott, Bruiser Gratterall, Alex Vesia in the bullpen. Like, this team should win minimum 95 games. I don't think there's an excuse for this team not to win 100 games this year, run away with the National League West. They are clearly the favorites for the World Series. They are coming in as 2-time back-to-back defending World Series champions. I don't see any reason why they're not favored to, go and get a third. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hey, BRS Sports signing out. Hey, a topic not thought about is a topic not talked about. Hey, y'all hit me up in the comments and y'all let me know what y'all think of this video. Who are your X factors? Who you think's gonna win the division if you don't agree with my Dodgers pick? Next, we're moving into the National League Central. Albeit all that being said, hey, y'all see the social medias on the side. You got my TikTok, my Facebook, my IG, and my Discord community. Feel free to join in. My link tree is in my TikTok bio. I'm always looking for people that want to debate or just cut up and have fun with me. I'm always looking to meet people within the sports community. I'm always looking to have a blast. So I'm signing out. My next video is going to be the National League Central. Y'all holla at your boy. I'll see you on the flip side. And thank y'all for the love and support. We're going to keep this bad boy rolling.